It's now 6:02 and our coverage of the coronavirus concerns continuing this morning. Latest numbers that we have show nearly 100,000 people are infected worldwide, with more than 3,000 reported deaths.
12 of those here in the United States, most in Washington state, one in California. That man, a passenger on a cruise ship last month. So that ship is now anchored off the coast of San Francisco. California's National Guard actually flew in test kits with the helicopters to that ship. Passengers will not going to be allowed off that ship until those test results are released. That could come as early as today. And in Massachusetts, we've learned the Plymouth School District canceled all classes for today. This after school officials learned a 17-year-old student was hospitalized after returning from a trip to Italy last month. Locally, Rhode Island health officials held a pair of briefings yesterday to update the state's response to this epidemic. And Eyewitness News reporter Kate Walsh is joining us live in Providence with some of the new measures the state is taking to keep people safe.
Patrick and Danielle, we're live this morning outside the Department of Health building, where inside researchers have really been working around the clock since before any confirmed cases were even announced here in Rhode Island in an effort to try to figure out how this strain of coronavirus works and what they can do to contain it. Right now, the number of confirmed cases here in Rhode Island remains at 2, with about 200 people self-quarantining, all again in an effort of containment and not spreading this virus. New from Thursday's announcement, we now know that a team of CDC officials are here on the ground in Rhode Island. In the coming days, the state is working with emergency management to set up new sites where people can go and get tested for coronavirus if they're showing symptoms. The state asks that if you feel the symptoms, fever, tightness in chest, cough, to first call your doctor or a clinic. Do not just walk into offices and potentially spread the virus to doctors who are needed at work to treat other patients. They're also looking at recent deaths out west and seeing that those in nursing homes and hospitals are the most vulnerable. So the state is now asking, if you don't feel well, do not visit loved ones in those settings. They're also restricting those younger than 18 years old from visiting.
Containment is the key. And if we can contain this and continue to buy ourselves time, that will really enable us to keep a handle on this. And I want to emphasize this again. Every single one of us really does have a role to play.
Rhode Island is unique with these cases because it involves a school, St. Raphael Academy, and Dr. Nicole Alexander-Scott of the Department of Health said that's why CDC officials are helping here and researching here, hoping to learn what goes on in Rhode Island and how it might affect the rest of the world. So new in the next half hour, we'll find out how this is really impacting children specifically. Live in Providence this morning, I'm Kate Walsh, Eyewitness News.
Latest on the coronavirus concerns, Massachusetts health officials have announced the state's third case. This presumptive positive case is a Middlesex County woman in her 60s who traveled recently to northern Italy. There's still just 2 cases here in Rhode Island, but coronavirus concerns led a judge to declare a mistrial at Providence Superior Court. Court spokesperson telling us a juror in another case went home sick. The judge was concerned that the 2 juries were sharing a stairwell, so he sent the jury home out of an abundance of caution. No indications of coronavirus, though, in the building. All state court buildings are now being thoroughly cleaned. And one of the biggest concerns right now is how the virus affects children. Kate Walsh live outside the Rhode Island Department of Health office this morning with that part of the story.
Patrick and Danielle, the Rhode Island cases here could really help the CDC and then world health leaders figure out just how this virus is spreading and the nature of this particular strain of coronavirus. And we've learned that the CDC actually has 5 workers here on the ground in Rhode Island helping with efforts and then also with research. Governor Raimondo and health leaders held a news conference on Thursday updating us, saying the number of confirmed cases remains at 2 here, with 200 others self-quarantining. The Department of Health Director, Dr. Nicole Alexander-Scott, said there's still a lot to learn about the virus, but so far, 80% of people with it have had just mild symptoms. She said the CDC is really investing in Rhode Island because the 2 cases here were centered around a school, St. Raphael Academy, and they're still trying to learn how the virus is affecting kids.
What's helpful is the understanding that COVID-19 has more so have minimal impact on children. Children have, for the most part, remained healthy during this process.
Now, we've heard around the country big events being canceled, and in other states, people getting infected because they were at events or conferences. So Governor Raimondo said if you are planning an event or you have one coming up, if you're curious about it, call the Department of Health. They can help you through the process of whether you should cancel or not, because she said each event has different circumstances that you'll have to talk through. Live at the Department of Health in Providence this morning, I'm Kate Walsh, Eyewitness News.